Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to Listen Up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Going right on Listen Up. Thank you, KK Arnold, and good luck to you and the Huskies in the NCAA tournament. But first, Ryan, we're going to go over some key stats for everyone and some thanks to Maggie Bononi, staff writer for CT Insider. Ryan, she just yesterday, she brought out, can UConn women's basketball team make NCAA postseason run, and her 5 very important keys for the Huskies. And I know you called me this morning. You said, Phil, 5 keys are out. And I thought you meant I lost my keys, at your house. I left my keys there. You said, no, Phil, I'm talking about the keys to UConn's NCAA tournament run that could possibly land them another championship. Well, we know that that's far and above it's not unrealistic, but it is a long shot, and we get it. But we talked about Rebecca Lobo. I know that you and I talked about her, and there was a video out, Ryan, so you can break that down very briefly if you like. She said, don't be surprised. I don't think she had anybody from the Pac-12 making the Final Four, so that's interesting. She specifically said that she said, do not, I think she said somewhere around like, do not underestimate the Huskies or don't sleep on the Huskies. She actually has them in the Final Four. And, that made me smile along with everybody else. So please subscribe, comment, and actually like the video because the like goes a lot longer than what you guys think it does. Ryan, I don't know how to act. First of all, let's go ahead and get started asking how you're doing on this 1:30 p.m. March 6th day, kind of rainy day up here in Maryland. I was going to ask you, I don't know how to act right now. We're going on when it's daylight outside.
Yeah, we're going on instead of 1:30 in the morning, we're going on 1:30 in the afternoon. So
There you
I
go.
guess that's a positive for today. But yeah,
Yeah.
surprising, exciting, surprising, a lot of variables that you can describe, but the postseason is already here. We always say how time flies, hard to believe. The regular season is officially over for everybody. And I believe the SEC tournament has started today for the women's side, so that's pretty exciting. But the Big East tournament starts for UConn, tournament starts on Friday, but for UConn it starts on Saturday at 12 p.m. I think they're either going to play Butler or Providence, depending on who wins on Friday. But definitely been another season of ups and downs through struggles against the top 15 with injuries, freshmen having to adapt to the next level. But through it all, somehow UConn is ranked ninth in the AP poll, the latest AP poll that came out yesterday, and they finished with a record of 26-5. And I like to quote from this CT Insider article from Maggie Vanoni, which she wrote. Gino was talking about how they could either have 2 games left if they lose in the first round of both of these tournaments, or they could have 9 if they go all the way. But he went on to say, you're asking me how far we can go. Some years I would tell you I like our chances. Some years I would tell you we have to get really lucky. I would say this year we have to get exceptionally lucky to really go deep in this tournament. Now, we're all expecting UConn to kind of breeze through this Big East tournament. They had no trouble throughout the regular season, but I think where UConn is going to need a lot of luck is when they get, or if they get to the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament in March Madness. We definitely cannot have any more injuries as of right now. With the Amari DeBerry injury, her concussion, we only have 8 available players, only have 3 available players coming off the bench. So definitely a struggle as it has been the whole season, which kind of also leads into another point I want to make with the foul trouble. We've talked about it a little bit through the regular season, but there's no second chances, obviously, in March Madness. So if a couple starters start to get into foul trouble in a game, have to rely on a couple players off the bench that, maybe we weren't expecting to get a ton of minutes through the tournament, that could cause some problems because we have seen throughout the regular season how UConn can struggle a little bit when we have to have some starters sit, the bench players come in, so definitely can't deal with a lot of foul trouble in these games. And also, which leads into my final point, The play of the freshmen, KK and Ashland, have been exceptional this year, kind of getting thrown into that starting spot. Definitely weren't expecting them to play near as much as what they did, but they have done an exceptional job. But they have had their struggles, obviously, which is to be expected. But we do need them to be consistent in March. I think if UConn wants to also make a deep run, a consistent play from them, I think is going to be really important. And the same goes for Cadence and Ice as well, coming off the bench. Can they provide a spark for this team? Can they provide the energy that UConn's going to need to keep them in the game when they come off the bench?
Yeah, very well said. So I want to get your take, and we want to hear from all of our subscribers. So don't forget to leave your comment down in the section below because we want to hear from you guys. And that goes as far as our regulars, right? Marcia Clark, Jason D'Amico, and the list goes on. And that's much love to everybody that comes through today and every day for us. So we appreciate every one of you all. We love every one of you all. Ryan, you may already have already answered this. You know, I got to do better, put my listening ears on a little bit more, right? Clean out my ears. You might have already answered this right here. So we have the 5 keys, and thanks to Maggie Benoni again for listing these down for us. So Ryan is good health, freshman adjustment, avoid foul trouble, great communication, and then of course lots of luck. And I talked to you about that last one. Lots of luck. I think it's very realistic, but at the same time, I think that goes for any team, right? You can note that on the list for any team that's going into this March Madness tournament. Now, I understand we still have the Big East tournament coming up. I can't wait to see you right back here on Saturday again when it's daylight out. How about that? I think I would argue with you. I want to ask you this and then make sure all of our subs answer this as well. I want to say great communication, but the most important key on this list, foul trouble has been kind of, sort of, an issue. But when Paige and Aaliyah Edwards have been on the floor, I don't see where you could say like they've been into a lot of foul trouble, right? Although teams are going to try to rough them up, I don't think that's going to be an issue. I really think that, again, Ice Brady, I think that because I can't, even if Amari DeBerry comes out of concussion protocol or whatever happened to her in practice, I think you said, I don't think that I just, unfortunately, I don't want to make Jason D'Amico, I don't want him to sweat even more, but I don't think she's going to be a big factor. I just don't. I'm sorry. Like I like Amari DeBerry, but I don't think she's going to be a big factor. A key player in this tournament coming up. I'm going to say this. This might surprise you. The good health factor. Yeah, we pretty much already know what's what laying out there on the roster. If any more injuries happen, it's pretty much a done deal. I will say that much. I am going to argue with you the most important key. And what is it to you, Ryan? I'm going to say freshman adjustment.
Yeah, I honestly think so too, because when I was talking about KK and Ashland, such a great job they've done coming into the starting lineup, and I think we're kind of already expecting Paige and Aaliyah and Nika to kind of lead the charge like they have been the whole season. Nika's kind of the rock, the heart and soul of this team, as we like to say. And, of course, we expect Aaliyah and Paige to do their thing out there, dominate in terms of offense, to Paige get going. Hopefully, Paige can kind of continue this hot streak of 25 point performances that she's had. Aaliyah Edwards has done an exceptional job of somehow following her performance of last year and playing great this season as well, all year long, all the double doubles, dominating everybody she plays down inside the paint. But I think it's really important for KK to be, like Jason said, the energizer bunny for UConn, and provide that spark of energy. Her quickness and all of that, getting in transition down the floor. And I think for Ashton as well, we talked about how the 3-point ball can sometimes be a problem. Maybe UConn doesn't shoot it enough. I think Ashton needs to continue to shoot. Hopefully she makes a lot of the shots that she takes, but I think it's important that she gets the 3 ball going, continues to be consistent with her shot. playing great defense as well. So and of course Cadence and Ice coming off the bench. Hopefully they can provide some sort of a spark for UConn and keep UConn in these games coming off the bench.
I don't know if this is intentional, but it is getting heated up in the comment section on Listen Up, and this is specifically for Ryan. Let's jump into comments, Ryan, and see what you think. KK was good tonight. This was from the last video, right? From the last video. This is Paul. There always seems to be one or two people on here who trashes UConn. They wanted Paige and Aaliyah to leave. They wanted AZ to transfer. They want the coach to quit. They want Sarah Strong and other top recruits to go to South Carolina. They want players to stay away from here because the trainers are bad. They can't recruit. All negativity and hatred. Actually, it's really only one guy. That guy is on South Carolina and LSU post being all positive. Yeah, that guy sure is disruptive. Wow. So see, Ryan, I mean, it's a two-way street. I know I put such big emphasis. If you don't win at all, you're no better than anyone else. I get it. But at the same time, man, think about it. Is it if they fall short of a national championship this season, what the comment I just read to you, a lot more can go wrong, in my opinion, when you set up for the future.
Well, I think, that's what makes the comment section so fun at times is everybody has a lot of different opinions and we love that. But yeah, of course, there's always going to be a lot of negativity. I think that's just the way the world is nowadays. But of course, I always try to focus on the positives and, talking about the future. I think, the positive of the future always has a lot to hold. Ali Zabel, possibly Sarah Strong coming in. So, there's always a future to look forward to. But I think in the present, as of now, of course, UConn's always expected to go to the Final Four, to make a championship appearance, and always be in the conversation to win it all every single year. And I think, as we've known, that the past 5 years, it's definitely been a challenge that we haven't seen in decades, I think. So it's going to be another challenge this year. But I think we're always going to believe in this team. That the team always believes in themselves, and I think that at the end of the day, that's the most important thing.
And this is a little bit weird to hear. I get it to diehard UConn fans, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen again. And Ryan and I'm sure if you want to apologize, Ryan, on my behalf, go ahead. But I'm not going to sit here and apologize for saying this. It's going to happen again. All right. And meaning Gino might not be there, Ryan. This whole roster, I'm sorry to tell you, Ryan, this whole roster might be a turnaround. It might be flip-flop.
Yeah.
But guess what? It's going to happen again. I don't want to I don't want to sound negative here or make you think that something's wrong. We don't know day to day is what I'm trying to tell you. The fact of the matter is, you might not be on Listen Up anymore. I might not be around on Listen Up anymore once it happens again. We hope to be. But guess what? It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. Okay. I'm sorry I don't have that crystal ball laying beside of me right here. I can't tell you, Ryan, what year it will be, but it's going to happen again. All right. Let's get down into one more. How about a short one? Rover says Big East is the worst basketball conference I've seen in a long time, men or women. And reading that out loud to you because we have a big weekend on the horizon.
Well, I think out of the Power Five conferences, I think you could definitely make a strong case for the Big East being the worst out of the Power Five conferences. Certainly this year, definitely wasn't expecting it to be, as low a level. I think that's a more positive thing to say. I think it was definitely a surprise to me. I thought a couple of teams were definitely going to be a little better than what they were, but unfortunately, or fortunately enough for UConn, they were easily able to get through all of these teams pretty easily. Definitely didn't have many challenges with the Big East teams. So hopefully that continues these 3 games through this tournament, and hopefully they can become the champs for the 4th straight season.
Yeah, hey, I mean, I love the title, but let's go ahead and say it right now. And I don't know if you have any words. Caitlin Clark, all praise, honor, and glory to this lady. Oh my. I mean, a headline I saw, Ryan, we've never seen a woman play like this. Okay. Um, there's so much more though to say. I'm not going to just sit against that headline, but you can word it a lot better than that, in my opinion. You can say we've never seen a college athlete. How about that, Ryan? We've never seen a college athlete, a college student, step up on the stage and play like this in Division I basketball. So let's just not focus on the so much. We've never seen a woman play like this. How about Ryan? More respectable. We've never seen a college athlete play like this.
Yeah, I mean, she broke the record for the men and the women all-time scoring records. So we've never seen men, women, anybody do what Caitlin Clark has done. So it's definitely been amazing to watch, and of course she'll have definitely a very very bright future. They got a huge win. In that game, she broke the record. Huge win versus Iowa, or excuse me, versus Ohio State in that game. So yeah, it's going to be exciting, definitely, to watch Iowa through the tournament as well. And a lot of these teams, I think it's really wide open. So I think anything can happen.
Big East tournament this weekend. Phil and Rye be right back here to recap every game with you, like always. The question is, will you be there? Get your tickets today. Hopefully, everybody will be there, Ryan, that we know, as far as our subscribers and even more. Hopefully, the place is packed, and blow up our mailbag and let us see pictures. Let us see your comments. Phil and Rye on Listen Up.